There we go.
Yo, what's going on, family? My name is Collin. I'm with my boys Zachary and John. We're the winning shot, and we're here for all things sports, NBA, WNBA, NFL, college football. Man, we last episode we talked about the games before Christmas, but I want to start by saying, man, how was y'all's Christmas? John, how was your Christmas?
Man, I ain't clapping you like that. Man, Christmas was a great time, brothers. It was really a good Christmas, man. I recently, for the pod, man, recently got engaged at the beginning of December. So I was able to spend some Christmas with my family here in Charlotte. And then able to go spend some time with my fiance's family as well in South Carolina. So did a little split, a first split Christmas, but it was pretty cool, man. I got a lot of gifts from both sides of the family, so I'm just grateful for this holiday season, the season of giving. So I did give a lot of gifts as well. I didn't just receive. But no, man, it was a good time, man. I was able, obviously, to watch some good football. More specifically, the Baltimore Ravens and the league MVP Lamar Jackson, man. Go tune to the last episode, man, if you want to hear some good information about the league MVP. We had a lot of discourse on that here recently. But no, man, overall, great Christmas, man. I can't complain. How about y'all?
Man, my Christmas was good, man. Got some time to rest, man. Trying to get back into the swing of things with work. So wasn't able to go home this year. So I was FaceTiming family, and everybody seemed to be doing good, man. So just excited to, be up here, get some time off of work, and just kind of get everything acclimated for the beginning of the year.
Sure.
I know. How was your Christmas?
Good. Spent it with the fam, so that was good. Just chill, man.
Yeah. So, man, like we said in the last episode, there was some great games that happened over Christmas, even though they were pretty uneventful games. So we'll start with the first one, man. So we'll go with the Ravens-Texans. So Lamar Jackson, he breaks the NFL quarterback rushing record during the game. He accounts for 3 touchdowns as the Ravens stomped the Texans 31-2. John, this is your team, so I'm gonna let you go first, man. How you feeling about the game?
Man, I told you, like I said, Christmas was great to me. I had a great Christmas, man. I not only did I get to see Ravens win, and I know we're gonna talk about this in a little bit, but man, I was able to see. Let's talk about the Ravens. So, man, watching that game, I honestly didn't have any worries coming into the game. We have had no issues with the Texans for the past decade. In all honesty with you, going back, I was watching some stuff going back to like 2013. We haven't really had any issues with the Texans. Even going back to last season when they first got CJ Stroud as a rookie, we smacked them in the regular season, the first game of the season. We played them back to Baltimore. We smacked them again. We just have Houston's number, man. I don't know what it is. A few weeks ago, we talked about CJ Stroud's issues this season as a sophomore season, a sophomore slump, and they came to fruition in this game. I mean, he was just missing easy throws left and right. I was like, okay, CJ, like this, you've been playing bad, but this is very bad, CJ. I really expect a little bit more from him. Once again, I know he lost his best friend to Tank Dell last week, so I know that played definitely a big part into it. So they were down just to Nico Collins, and we had him locked up pretty much all day. They couldn't get anything started on the ground with Joe Mixon. They weren't blocking for CJ. We kept sacking CJ. The defense couldn't get any stops. They got one stop, which is why they got them 2 points on the goal line, and they were hyped up. But from start to finish, man, we're dominated both sides of the ball. It's really good to see us, man, getting into this playoff form right before the playoffs here. So it put us in position not only to take the lead in the division, but now we control our own destiny in regards to winning the division this coming week, which we'll discuss later. So, man, it's a great game overall, I'd say, for sure.
For sure. Hondo, how you feeling?
Yeah, that was a beatdown. We had talked about CJ Stroud struggling, bro, and they continued to show. Like John said, he got sacked 5 times. We talked about the offensive line issues a little bit last week. So yeah, I mean, Ravens got the win, took care of business. Move on to next week. Get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah. So for the Texans, man, they seem to be the shakiest team in the playoffs. Do you just run it back and just throw the season with injuries, or do you re-sign Stephon and bring everybody back? Because I assume you're going to have Nico and Tank back, but we don't know what Tank's going to look like after 2 knee injuries back to back. And as you said, John, like CJ's really had a shaky year. Some people saying it's just a sophomore slump. But what do y'all do if y'all the Texans organization?
Man, it's crazy because I like a lot of teams on paper. This team coming to season, I was like, ooh, they're scary. Like you said, had Stephon, had Tank coming back. They had signed Joe Mixon. Yeah, C.J. Stroud he won Rookie of the Year last year, correct? I think so. So, one of the top guys coming back. They got Will Anderson on that defense. They got Daniil Hunt on that defense. Stingley out there on the defense. They drafted Lattimore at corner from Georgia. He's a dog, quite literally. I'm missing one guy. Jalen Petrie at safety. But the Texans have just been injury riddled. They've unfortunately caught the injury bug real bad in a lot of areas on their team. So for me personally, I'm gonna go ahead and tell y'all now, but spoil this. Quick spoiler alert. Quick playoff exit for the Texans. Quick. I'm talking wild card weekend. It's send the boys back to the crib. I know they're gonna win the division, but it's gonna be a quick playoff game. I don't know who they're playing. It's not gonna really matter whether it's Pittsburgh, whether it's the Broncos, whether it's whoever they're gonna come and beat. So yeah, I think you got to just take this L. Looking to see, I don't know about Stephon Diggs. It could work out because you didn't get an opportunity to kind of see what it looks like in that offense. But like you just talked about just now, Tank coming back from 2 ACL injuries, that's tough on the body. So you drafted a receiver, coming out in this draft, should be a lot of them available. I don't know. I think you got to put some emphasis on for sure because CJ Stroud needs to stay upright. I think that's been a big issue for him in the past 2 years is that he just hasn't been able to stay upright. He's had to make a lot of plays on the run. He hasn't had a lot of focus in on what he needs to do. So I think that needs to be a big emphasis for them this offseason. I do think also they're going to need some help when it comes to, like I said, potentially receiver. I think they got Joe Mixon under contract for another year. So we got to see what happens with them, receiver and O-line. I think those are their biggest issues. Defensively, not as worried. I like their defensive pieces. They got a lot of good guys out there. Like I said, Stingley's young. Lattimore came to rookie year, really had a great rookie season for him. Petrie should be back, as well as Daniil Hunter. I don't know what they're going to do with him, but Will Anderson's still there as well. So they got a good defensive unit. So I really would focus on the offensive, just making sure CJ Stroud is upright, giving him the most opportunity and the most time to be as efficient as he can be.
Yeah. All right, man.
I think they should run it back. With the roster that they got, like you say, they didn't really get to see what Diggs looked like in the offense. So I definitely think they need to bring him back, see what it looks like, and definitely, like John said, invest in that offensive line because, shoot, they look terrible.
Yeah. I agree, man. And that's the thing, man. It's like, do I spend the money on Stephon or do I spend that money on trying to bolster the offensive line? Because, you only got 2 more years that you got CG on a rookie deal, and I don't know if it's worth him running around or potentially getting injured and wasting another season in injuries altogether. So it's going to be an interesting offseason for them. All right, so we're going to move on to the next game. So Chiefs Steelers. Chiefs move to 15-1. Mahomes throws 3 touchdowns as the Chiefs clinch the AFC top seed. They won 29-10. The Steelers are now on a losing streak. So the game wasn't really much of a game after the third quarter. And so now the Chiefs have a 2-week bye before the playoffs. They've locked up the number 1 seed, man. How are your boys feeling about that game?
Christmas miracle. I'm a Ravens fan, man. So as you know, to watch the Steelers get beat down before our game, boy, I called Hundo's parents so quick after that game. They Steelers fans. And so, man, I was just telling them, I said, Merry Christmas. I appreciate y'all for this gift to me. It felt very good to see the Steelers. Anytime I can watch the Steelers lose, man, it's a great day for me. I really have a strong disdain towards the Steelers as a Steelers fan. And so being able to see them get beat down at home, that was just so joyous. In front of your family and friends, to get the belt.
On Christmas.
On Christmas, man. It really felt like the Grinch came in and took all their gifts. And I loved every minute of it. I was just so happy. I knew the Chiefs were going to get the top seed, so that didn't really surprise me. But like I said, for me, what really made it great is not only did the Steelers lose, but they also lost their place in the division as the number 1 team. So that put us as number 1 team after that beating we put on them last week. They got beat again. So that's 3 losses in a row for them. So it's looking really shaky to them going into this last week of the NFL season. they could really lose the season that they currently have, which is 5. They could drop again if they lose again. This last game, I think they got against the Bengals, who are not going to be resting players, so they're trying to make the playoffs. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. But man, it's really a great time to be a Ravens fan right now because the Steelers lost again. So I was, like I said, just quite happy to see it.
I know.
I think for the Steelers, and we touched on this last week too, but their offense has been struggling. Like Russell Wilson missing throws. They get Pickens back, but I mean, that's really the only real weapon that they have outside of him and Fryermuth. So it's like, where does the rest of the offense come from?
Yeah.
They've been able to run the ball pretty efficiently, but it's not enough. So do you think about putting Justin Fields in at quarterback? I don't know. Like they have some tough decisions to make moving forward. And it's really a bad time for them to be struggling because playoffs are week after next. So we're gonna see if they can turn things around. If not, it might be a quick exit for them, like John said for the Texans. Who knows?
Yeah.
So we'll see. For the Chiefs, continue to win. They just keep finding ways to win in different ways. This week it was Mahomes. He had been struggling throughout the season. He had a great performance on Christmas. So we'll see what happens with them in the playoffs. They have the number 1 seed. They have a bye, so I'm sure they'll be resting players against the Broncos. So good for us. So
yeah, for sure. I mean, another thing too, from like obviously, Pittsburgh gets praised for their defense, but that back end of the defense is kind of shaky. Like outside of Minka, those corners, man, the Chiefs are doing whatever they wanted to in the passing game. And I think the offense doesn't have enough firepower to keep up with a team that puts up a lot of points. And I just think I don't know what you do in the offseason because I don't see the Steelers making it past. They might make it if they beat the Texans past the second round, but I'm not paying Russ over $40 million. I'm sorry, that's just me. So, but I don't know what your other options are because you're not in a position to draft a quarterback. So it's gonna be interesting, man.
Mm-hmm. I agree, man. It's gonna be real interesting. Like you said, we got Justin back there too. It's like I can pay him a little bit less. Do I rock with him full time or do him a year contract? Or do I give Russ another 1-year contract and let him, quote unquote, prove it again? I guess because it's kind of falling off at the end of this year. So it's like, can you be consistent for a full year? And Russ is also 36, 37, so dwindling down towards the tail end of his career. So it's like, do I want to put money into that?
Yeah, he's 36.
I will say too, though, like they need another weapon.
Agreed.
Agreed. I think if they're able to get another weapon on the outside, they can find a quarterback.
Let me ask you this: do you trust Mike Williams? Because they did win and go and trade for him from New York. Do you sign him again?
Yeah, it's a reason why he don't be playing like that.
That's fair.
I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about that statement. Just because I don't know. I feel like Mike is a good player. I do personally. I mean, clearly he came from Clemson, first round pick. He was good he just has injuries. He had a lot of injuries in LA that kind of derailed him, which is why he led to him being traded. I mean, well, he got released, I think, from LA. Or traded. One of the two things he was done in LA, which led him to New York, signed that he had to get released there because he signed a contract with New York. Signed a contract with New York. But then, like you said, why didn't he play in New York? Because he signed like a 1-year, $18 million deal. So he signed a big deal with New York. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't play. And then they wound up trading for Devontae Adams. So it's like, that's interesting. So it's like, do I sign you again? Yeah. So like, it's going to be an interesting offseason for them as well. And I wish them nothing but the worst, for sure.
Hey, yo.
Not the worst. That's hate. All right, man. So we're going to transition to the games that happened on Saturday. So the Bengals beat the Broncos in an overtime game. Burrow throws a 3-yard touchdown pass to Higgins in overtime, and the Bengals were able to outlast the Broncos 30-24. This had major playoff implications because with the Bengals win, they're still alive. So they need other dominoes to fall this next week. But at 8-8, they still can get that 8th seed. The Broncos still control their own destiny. All they have to do is win one game in order to get the win. Hundo, how are you feeling about your team losing in that way?
Man, that was tough to watch, man, because we get Riley Moss back, our number 2 corner, and he just got abused by T. Higgins all night. I'm just like, dang, like that's a rough first game to come back against versus that receiving core, and it's just like, yo, they just kept picking on this man. I'm like, yo, Vance Joseph, like, get this man some help, bro. Like, where's the safety? Can we double team somebody? Can we get him off of him? Something like he was getting abused out there. I'm just like, dog. And then on the offensive end, it's just like Bo Nix makes the great touchdown pass to get us into overtime, and he can't hit a throw in overtime. You got to be able to pick up first downs when you need them. So, I mean, we'll see. I think, like you said, we're in the driver's seat. You just got to beat the Chiefs or hope that, the Bengals lose and the Dolphins lose. But, man, we'll see. We'll see.
We'll see. I mean, Andy Reid hasn't announced which starters are going to sit. I assume Pat, Travis probably going to sit. Chandler's going to sit. But y'all don't sleep. Like, I'm not going to say y'all going to blow them out, but y'all keep it close. Andy's not going to say we're going to lose. So we'll see.
Man, we should have beat them the first time, man. And that was with all their starters. So if we can't beat the backup quarterback, yeah, we don't need to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, I told Hundo, man. I know he the whole organization is writing letters of thank you to Andy Reid right now that he's sitting pat because they were going to fold themselves right outside the playoffs. So they should get a win this week because they resting these starters. And but then here's the thing though, it really is not going to matter because they about to go right and face Hundo's MVP and Josh Allen the week after. So it's like, I mean. You get the rest from Pat, but then you get Josh. So you just take your L to next week. So honestly, I don't know.
That defense about to turn up on on Josh.
Hey, clip that stream, please. Please clip that.
If we make the playoffs.
Oh, here we go. Here go the caveats. Here go the caveats. But nah, man, it's it's thank God for y'all right now. Right now, if y'all mess around and somehow lose this game to a non-Patrick Mahomes Chiefs team, like you said earlier, y'all don't deserve to be in the playoffs.
Yeah, no,
not at all, not at all. So I told Hunter that I watched them fold the past 2 weeks. I think y'all lost last year,
bro.
And I told Hunter, I said, bro, y'all don't want to go to the playoffs. It's like y'all like trying to get a higher draft, like y'all got somebody to draft y'all really want really bad, because like. I've watched the games they had them in the bag. Like they were up 21-7 to the Chargers. Watched them lose that game. I said that's embarrassing. Then I watched them against the Bengals. I'm like, bro, they should be winning this game. Like the defense kept getting stops on Joe Burrow and the boys, and then the offense would get a touchdown or two. I don't know. It just kept going back and forth. But I was like, they should be winning. Like I just kept saying, I was watching. I was like, they should be winning this game, but they just couldn't get it done, bro. And I mean. Like I said earlier, it's been a lot of quick exits for a lot of these playoff teams. A lot in the AFC, a lot of quick exits, and the Broncos are on that list. So, yeah, and I know Hunter's gonna say we didn't expect to be here, so it really don't matter. Yeah, because that's the goalpost moving that we like to talk about. But that's another thing for another day. It's okay. So
Hunter, you feeling like is Bo Nix the quarterback of the future? Is he y'all franchise quarterback?
I think we got to get some more weapons. I think he'll be fine. I think he showed he can play at a high level. Of course, he misses a lot of throws. The interception that he threw against the Bengals, he forced it. Like, just throw the ball away, yo. Like, there's no need to try to make that throw in that situation. But I think he'll learn from it. And clearly, Sean Payton likes him, so he's there to stay.
Cool. Sure. So we don't got to talk about this game, but the Vikings beat the Packers 27-25. Reason why that's important, the Vikings with the win, they control their own destiny if they beat the Detroit Lions next week. They'll be competing for the number 1 seed in the NFC. But going to move forward to the game that happened last night. The Falcons played the Commanders. That was another game that went to overtime. Jaden Daniels went for 24 for 36, 227 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Everybody's saying that Jaden is the truth. How your boys feeling about the game?
Yeah, man. I'll keep it quick, man. Jaden definitely rookie of the year. Commanders, if I'm not mistaken, are in the playoffs from that division. So it's gonna be real interesting to see how he performs in that wild card weekend. I'm not even looking forward to next week because I think they got they got next week, but I'm not sure if their matchup next week is really going to have too much implication on their playoff standing.
I think they got the Cowboys.
Oh yeah, they won that game. So yeah, I mean they'll go 11-5 for this year, which is a really great record for Jaden coming in as a rookie. And 12-5. Yeah, shoot, that's even better, bro. 12-5 is a great record for them, right behind Philly in that division, and they beat Philly just a couple weeks ago. So Jaden already got some battle-tested wins under his belt. So going into the playoffs, man, it doesn't really matter. I like their matchup, but honestly, whoever they play in that first round, me personally. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that works out for them. And isn't the Falcons also? Aren't they also in the playoffs because of winning their division? Or this week determines if they win their division?
I think because the Bucks won, I think the Bucks are back in that slot, but a lot's going to depend on next week and how it shakes out.
Okay. So yeah, I said it's going to be for the Commanders, great. For Atlanta, got to win again. It's going to be interesting to see how Michael Penix continues to grow. He's his third game upcoming starting in the league, so he continues just to improve, man, every week. And I'm excited to see what he does and see if he can earn a playoff spot. I think it'd be a quick exit for them if they do make it in, because the NFC South just
they're not getting that.
Oh well, then it can be a quick exit anyway because he already will be at the crib next week. So pack your bags. Congratulations on the order. He did just get engaged to his fiance now, so congratulations for that. So they'll give her a nice little Cancun trip on 3, and we can keep things pushing, guys.
Do y'all think they waited too late to put him in, like the Falcons?
I do no waited too late. I think that they just knew it at this point. It was just going to be just the end of the season. They had paid Kirk all that money, so it was like I gotta play him. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I drafted Michael early, but I done paid Kirk all this money, so I got to see what he's gonna give me. And when they started losing, it's like, well, let's see what I got for the future. So yeah, I don't know if I waited too late versus kind of just wanting to see what I got.
I don't think they waited too late to put Penix in. Of course, Kirk Cousins started struggling down the stretch. He had several games with several interceptions, but yeah, I don't think they waited too late. And then as far as Jaden, he's shown to be one of the most clutch quarterbacks in the league. Like his late game drives that he put together over the course of the season has just been crazy. So yeah, I'm excited to see what they can do in the playoffs. I'm not sure exactly who they would match up with just quite yet, but I'm sure they'll compete. I don't know if they'll win that game, whoever they match up with in the first round, but I definitely think they can compete and possibly pull off an upset.
All right, man. So just going back to Christmas Day real quick, just a topic I wanted to discuss with y'all boys. So the Nielsen ratings came out and they said the NFL had 65 million U.S. viewers that tuned in to at least 1 minute of the 2 games that happened that day. The NFL introduced a new model going to Netflix, and so it definitely was a win for Netflix. But it was curious because, NBA is usually taking over that day. And at the end, the Warriors played the Lakers. The Lakers were able to pull it off. In LeBron's comments, he said he was making a shot towards the NFL, saying that the Christmas Day belonged to the NBA. What are y'all thoughts on that? Like, where do you see it going? Obviously, with the streaming services is different now. But do you see the NFL taking it over, or do you still think that day belongs to the NBA?
I'm gonna use a quote that I was given earlier today. See the stats above that I just referred to get your answer. You're telling me you think something, but I'm proving it with the numbers.
Yeah.
65 million people took a minute to watch one of them games. Now, granted, Beyonce did perform at halftime.
Thank you.
Beyonce did perform at halftime. However, I've made this comment before. The NFL is more entertaining than the NBA right now. I know they got LeBron, but he's 40 years old as of today. His career is just about over. So,
hey, stop playing with Brian. He said he could play 5 to 7 more years if you wanted to.
I couldn't even keep a straight face. I love you, Brian. You know what I'm saying? You really are one of the greats, but that ain't happening. I'm gonna keep it a band with you, sir. I'm gonna keep it a band with you.
I'm not gonna be there.
Right. 5 to 7 is quite egregious.
Hey, that's what he said, man.
Yeah, I know you're paying $1 million to take care of your body every year, but I ain't gonna lie. That $7 million that you're gonna spend the next 7 years, nah, it ain't gonna matter. your body ain't gonna be able to keep up with that, buddy. But no, in all seriousness, man, I personally think that the NFL is taking over. Like I said, it's for me and for clearly 64 million other people, man. It's more entertaining right now. They can't get Beyonce to the halftime at an NBA game, and they've been having Christmas for how long?
Hey, stop playing, bro.
I ain't seen. Okay, hold on. What major entertainers you seen do a halftime show for the NBA in the
past? That's not a thing, bro.
Exactly. So because I can create that sliding opportunity, and on Christmas, bro, that's just a Super Bowl thing. They got it on Christmas.
The thing is too, like, because it's on Netflix, people are not going to change the channel. Like, you're on Netflix. Like, you're not going to go out of Netflix to go look at the NBA. You stuck. So it's kind of smart.
No. I went out of Netflix to go watch the NBA game.
You did.
I definitely did. Hey, them NBA Christmas games was fire. If you ain't watching, you missed out.
I guess I'm gonna just miss. I don't watch NFL over anyway, but also I just don't be as entertained watching the NBA, man. Watching versus the NFL. So
do you think the length of the season is a factor in that?
For sure.
The length of the NBA.
2 games is a lot to try to keep up with right now, and they just had the big in-season tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean,
I think that's been a good, I guess, step in the right direction. I guess to try to keep things entertaining, and give people a reason to kind of like tap into some of those games that's going on, and also give the players an incentive to actually play all the games or play more of the games, as opposed to sitting out and resting. But I mean, as far as the Christmas Day stuff, I think the NBA is always going to win that. I'm not sure exactly if the NFL plans on continuing to do the Christmas Day games. I don't know.
For sure.
Whenever I think of Christmas, I think of the NBA. So I look forward to those games. Like I said, the games this year were actually all entertaining games from start to finish. So I was tapped in with that.
Yeah.
I think now that the NBA is going to try to put forth more effort next season, because now that they know the NFL has drawn that kind of viewership this year, they're going to watch what I tell you. Next year, they're going to have something, I don't know, some kind of crazy matchup, some kind of performance, some kind of something so they can draw viewership back. Because what they don't want to do is lose revenue to the NFL. And what they don't want to really do is lose that top spot, which I think that they've low-key already done on Christmas. It's crazy enough to say. I know it's been only 1 year, but the numbers speak for themselves. So,
yeah, I think the only thing though is like, because like you said, the urgency, Hundo, like this week mattered for a lot of NFL teams, because I mean, going forward, this could dictate a lot of playoff implications. And I think just obviously you got Wemby, coming in, but the Christmas games before, it meant something, like when the Cavs played the Warriors, but like with all this parity in the NBA, there's not really any big storylines for people to tune in to that magnitude. Like, I don't think 65 million people are tuning in to Wemby playing the Knicks, personally. I think it's only going to get bigger and bigger the more like the NFL grows. So I don't know. But yeah, man. So that's just a recap of the games this week. We're going to be introducing something new. We got our top 5 segment. Hundo's going to be listing the top 5 teams in the NFL, AFC and NFC combined. Hundo, go ahead and give us your 5.
All right, so we're going to start at 5. and work our way up. So at 5, we got the Vikings. At 4, we got the Lions. At 3, we got the Bills. 2, we got the Eagles. And 1, we got the Chiefs. So that's my
John, how
top
you feel about that?
That's a very interesting top 5. I think he just chose the top teams with the best records. Me personally, I think that's what he did. I mean, based upon the teams that he just mentioned, I mean, they the top 5 teams, best 5 records in the league. So I think from there, what he did was he picked. I mean, the list is cool, man. It's smooth. If that's your opinion, that's your opinion. Yeah, like that's your opinion. That's your opinion, bro. Like, I think there's some better teams out there, but that's just me.
Who do you think are the better teams?
I think there's some better teams in Minnesota out there. Honestly, I think that in the
And
NFC,
and that's why I put them at 5.
yeah. In the NFC alone, I mean, shoot, bro. Honestly, Washington's up there with Minnesota, and I know that's crazy to say, but shoot, I'm putting Jaden up there with Sam Darnold.
Now hold on, we can't just go with quarterback, John. Like, let's stop. The Vikings are a good team this year.
They are a good team.
I mean, I think they have more weapons than the Washington Commanders.
Yes, they do, but I think they're closer to Washington than they are to like Detroit.
Well, we gonna see this week.
We're gonna see this week for sure.
Oh, you had the Ravens? Were the Ravens in top 5?
No, he didn't mention top 5. Nah, that's I didn't expect that from him, but it's okay.
No,
it's okay. I get it, bro. I get it.
Top 5.
I'm not gonna argue.
They barely top 5 in the AFC.
Wow.
I'm not gonna argue with Hundo. It's okay, man. It's okay. Playoff time is here. This is the last week of the NFL season. Then we're gonna really lock in. This next week's pod, when they start their playoff push, we really have some good conversations then, because it's about who wants to be a man. But for now, your top 5 is cool, bro. I give you a nice C+.
Yeah, I don't know. Like the Chiefs, I can definitely 15-1, but I think honestly, like we got to see what's up with Jalen Hurts. Like obviously, I'm not gonna hold that against them, but I just don't. And even they lost Kenny Pickett. I think they were on their 3rd string. So if Jalen's hurt, I can't put them number. I think you had them number 3 or number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah, I can't put them number 2. I
think they still got Saquon. They still got AJ Brown. They still got Devontae. Defense been holding up.
Let me. You remember a couple years ago when the 49ers in the AFC Championship game and they lost Brock Purdy?
Thank you, John. Thank you.
And they still had Debo. They still had Brent Ayuk. They still had McCaffrey.
Didn't they bring in Dobbs?
I think they played Josh Johnson when he got hurt. And Dobbs. They might have brought both of them in. But I mean, to Hundo's point, they had the weapons. It just when your quarterback's not there, bro, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. We literally had a whole debate last week about quarterback play and how
he got a concussion, bro. He'll be back, bro. It was a concussion. It wasn't a shoulder injury or nothing, bro. He had a concussion, bro. He'll be back.
He missed 2 weeks in.
Well, I mean, there's no need for him to play this week, bro.
He said what?
There's no need for him to play this week. He missed the last game.
He missed the last 2 games, didn't he?
No, he got hurt versus the Commanders.
Yeah, but he missed the last week.
Huh?
Didn't he miss?
Hurt this week and last week.
Yeah.
He got hurt versus the Commanders. They played the Commanders the week before last.
Yeah, he got hurt this week.
Oh, this week.
No, they played the Commanders 2 weeks ago, and then he got hurt this week.
No, I'm talking about Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
Yeah.
He got
hurt against the Commanders.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he got hurt this week.
No, he didn't. He didn't play.
Yes, he did. He hurt his ribs.
Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
I know Kenny.
He didn't play, bro. Kenny Pickett played.
Listen, regardless, I'm wishing them all the best going into playoffs. And the things remains for me. They're gonna need him healthy. If they don't have him healthy, it ain't gonna matter what weapons on the field. Saquon can run for all he want to run. It ain't gonna matter because they're not gonna win. because somebody got to get the ball to AJ Brown.
It sound good.
But
Saquon been carrying that ball this year.
Yeah, Saquon was carrying the ball his whole career. He been carrying this at Penn State.
This year, this is the best year in the NFL, bro.
Correct, because it's with this offensive line. What I'm telling you is this: if they have no quarterback, you think they're not going to load the box and just say Saquon beat me? Yeah, that's not happening.
And I'm telling you, Jalen Hurts going to be back.
Like I said, for their sake, I hope so. Because if it's relying on Saquon, it's not gonna matter. They're gonna lose.
I don't know about that one. I think Saquon could put the team on his back, bro.
Right. Jalen Hurts, he didn't play, but Kenny hurt his ribs. I think it's the first play. You're right.
Yeah.
We're gonna see, man. I don't know. I want to trust the Eagles, but it's just like a lot of noise and a lot of injuries. We got to see. And I think
for me, I don't think anything changed from last week to this week. Like we knew Hurts was hurt. We knew he wasn't gonna play. I can't move them off of that.
That's cool.
Nothing changed. Nobody else got hurt. They're fine. Outside of Kenny Pickett, but he's the backup quarterback.
So who was 6?
Yeah, did you have an honorable mention team?
Did you have an honor? Yeah.
I'll probably put the Commanders there.
Yeah, I mean with Hundo, man, I can't help but laugh.
Because look, the Packers coming off a loss, can't put them there. Ravens, not putting them there. Steelers, not putting them there. Came off a loss.
That's fair. I mean, I guess the list is okay.
It's your list, man. It's your list.
It's your list.
Oh man.
All right. Well, y'all watching, y'all comment on Hundo's list. We got to see what the people say.
Yeah, please. Hey, make sure you please put don't even put a poll. I want you to put like a graphic with your top 5 in it. We'll post it to the page separately.
Right, I know he was itching to put the Broncos somewhere in there.
Listen,
bro, the Broncos are not a top 5 team, bro. Like I wouldn't do that, bro. No, bro.
He said the Ravens not 6.
It ain't sound like he was gonna put him 7 either. I was like,
bro,
wow.
He probably wouldn't put him 7 either, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna start laughing when the Ravens get dropped off in the playoffs. That's when I'm gonna be laughing.
Oh,
it's gonna be real funny then.
Oh man,
you better hope y'all win it all.
The Broncos or the Ravens?
You said what?
Huh?
Who do you think makes it farther in the playoffs? The Broncos or the Ravens?
The Broncos haven't even made the playoffs yet, bro.
I mean, but they can't. They still can if they win.
I'm gonna say the Ravens, bro. The Ravens are gonna make it further than the Broncos, bro. Like I have no high expectations for the Broncos making it far in the playoffs, bro. If we make the playoffs, good, cool.
I hear you. We're gonna see. Well, that concludes this episode, man. There's some great games on tomorrow and New Year's Day. You got who's playing tomorrow?
Boise State and dang, who they play?
Penn State and Boise State.
Penn
State. Okay, yeah.
Y'all want our picks? Go tune into the past episodes. John, you want to remind the people to move your hand game?
Yeah, move your hand game of this week, man. I believe it was Arizona State. I don't remember who they playing, but it's gonna get bad.
Texas.
Oh yeah.
Hey, Cam Scatterbo said.
I seen that.
I seen the game plan for him all season.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Move your hand. Come here.
I don't think Buddy understands. Like have they even played an SEC team this year?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Everybody go tell him to pick a switch. You remember when if you from the South, you know, so you're he said go there to that tree, pick a switch. And don't get the little one either.
Get the one that be.
Get the big switch.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna make it up the first quarter. Honestly, gonna be like a 21-7 first quarter. It's gonna get ugly.
I'm telling you, seven is generous. By the way, 7 is quite generous.
They're not gonna score.
I mean, they might get to field goal range.
Oh man. All right, man. Y'all got anything else you want to add?
That's it for me, man. Great episode, fellas.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all. And definitely tune in. We got more content coming, playoffs push coming soon. So y'all appreciate the love we already getting, and y'all boys tune in. And at the end of the day, like, there's just this Christmas season has been great in terms of sports altogether. I mean, just with the NFL and the NCAA combined, I think the model with the playoff has been good because we got nothing but sports to talk about.
I'm telling you, bro. It's wonderful. Like, comment, subscribe, repost, please. Share with your friends, man. And leave comments, man. We want to hear from y'all, man. I love having spirited debates in the comments with the fans.
Absolutely.
Add some more debates in today with the MVP people on TikTok. So let's bring it to IG. We're on every social media platform now. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Twitch now. Yes, sir. So, man, listen, tap in with us, man. We all over, for real. So I want to hear from y'all. Let's chop it up.
For sure. All right, man.
Happy New Year.
Oh, yeah. Happy New Year.